right, so welcome back to my channel, guys. So I am, well, this is another episode of my fibroid diary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into that question that many women facing fibroids have been asking me, and in particular this was asked up under the last video that I did. So and that question was, Timah, were your fibroids calcified? So brace yourself, because my answer may and it may not actually surprise you. All right. So, but before I get into my story, let's get a grip on what fibroids and calcification are all about. So let me just show you. Let me show you this.
What is a calcified fibroid? You may see that term in an ultrasound or an MRI report. And what this means is that a fibroid is calcified when it is super old, it loses its blood supply, it's been there for a long time, and it degenerates. So it sort of shrivels a little bit and is just sitting there. You don't need to do anything about it. It's benign. You don't need surgery to remove it. When we do run into calcified fibroids in the process of, say, a hysterectomy, these fibroids are extremely tough to remove. They're very, very hard. Again, because they don't have any blood supply, they're not soft and fleshy like fibroids usually are. So again, it's totally benign. You don't have to do anything about it if you have one. To answer more questions about fibroids and to learn more, please join me for a free masterclass next Friday, July 29th. All the info is found below, and please register using the link.
All right, so that's an actual doctor. Okay, so what she's saying is that calcification actually occurs when calcium deposits build up inside the fibroids, and they cause them to get hard. So this can alter, like she said, the texture, the size, and location within the uterus itself, right? All right, so that's pretty interesting, right? And I believe I just believe that it's crucial to shed light on this subject. Right. So the first time I realized that my fibroids had become calcified was during a routine ultrasound, actually. And my doctor noticed these small calcifications within some of the fibroids. And I was taken aback because I had never heard of such a thing before. Because if you guys saw my initial story, my mom, I didn't even know about that with my mom's fibroids, right? So, because it was never mentioned. So that was a complete surprise. And then learning about this condition, it was quite overwhelming. And I felt a mix of fear. I was a bit confused. And then, I was concerned about, my health and my quality of life, of course. I think that would really just be natural. So I immediately scheduled a follow-up appointment with my doctor to discuss some possible treatments and the impact these calcified fibroids could have on my overall well-being, right? So my doctor provided some insight into the causes of calcification within fibroids. And basically, as I recall, calcium can accumulate in fibroids due to a lack of blood supply, and typically happening when fibroids either outgrow their capacity to receive proper nutrients. It could be hormonal imbalance. It could be a woman's age that can contribute to the calcification process. So basically, the answer was I don't know. That's pretty much what the answer was, right? Now, as a result of this, some of the symptoms were like I had mentioned inside of my previous video. Some of the symptoms were similar to those caused by regular fibroids. So, like excessive bleeding, pelvic discomfort. However, the calcified fibroids also brought some new challenges, such as increased pain during intercourse, and even pressure on like some of the surrounding organs. Okay, So yeah. So now that was quite troubling, right? And wow. So my doctor recommended a pediatrician gynecologist. Now this woman, she was something else. So the only treatment option that she even provided was to have my uterus removed, right? That was it, period. Nothing else. She didn't talk about doing anything that was less invasive, just nothing. She just went straight for removal. And that was it. That was it, straight for removal. And, so now I didn't have to consider anything that this woman said, because I had already made up my mind. And that I made up my mind that I wasn't gonna have my uterus removed, nor would I be cut on for any type of reason like this, right? Now, mind you, I was much younger than I am now, and because that was in 2011. So, and this is 2023, right? So she was like, I hope you're not planning on having children because your uterus needs to be removed. Imagine something like this, Sandy. And so I was very young, right? Now, I was very young, and I had very nice figure. I mean, I don't have a bad figure now, but I had a very nice figure. And seeing this is my figure after the fibroids. This is after the freaking fibroids, right? So now, the only thing that she figured that she needed to say to me was, I hope you're not planning on having children because you're going to have your uterus removed. And that was it. No less invasive methods, no nothing, right? None of that. Just none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I've heard so many women talking about how some of these doctors, they go straight for the jugular. We're gonna have to take it out. Just take it out. And it's like, what? So this is your only option, is to tell me that you're going to remove part of my immune system? Are you nuts? Oh my gosh. So yeah. Yeah. So needless to say, that didn't happen. Now, when she said that, it scared me, right? It really did scare me. And I realized that what had happened was I had allowed this woman to put me in a type of fear. You know what I'm saying? It scared the shit out of me when she said this, because, and basically what had happened was it took me back into this memory that I had in regards to dealing with my mom when she was going through her bout with fibroids, which eventually turned into cancer, right? So, I went out to the car, and I gathered myself, and, I'm just like, and I had to think, I just had to think, And so I was like, let me get myself together, because I know I'm not going to do that. I know I'm not going to do that, And so let me tell you, it was a life-changing decision for me, okay? Because I had a lot of information under my belt because of the research that I was doing for my mom. Gosh. And I mentioned some of this stuff inside of the last video, So part of my research, I was really looking online, and I wanted to see if there was anybody that had cured themselves naturally of fibroids. And the only things that I really kept coming up with was these lengthy explanations of what a fibroid is, pictures of fibroids. I didn't want to keep holding this mess inside of my head. You know, it's like, okay, I know this type of stuff, but where's the information that's telling me, hold on, this mic, yeah, I need to get a new one. Well, I'm like, where's the information that's telling me about women that have actually healed themselves naturally? That's what I want, you know. And so I was already onto something because of what where I had got my mom to, you know what I'm saying, before she went and had the surgery that just kind of screwed everything up, you know. So, oh, good Lord. This is really why I prefer not talking or doing videos about this type of stuff, because I do get triggered. You know what I'm saying? I do get triggered by talking about this stuff, because that was a very hard period for me. You know what I'm saying? That was a very hard period for me, and I had moved away from that. But because I'm sitting here and I have to think about that stuff, and it's like it's moving my emotions into the direction, and it makes it seem like I'm in that right now, and I know that I am not in that. You know what I'm saying? But it's bringing up all these emotions, all of these feelings from so long ago. You know what I'm saying? It's bringing all this up from so long ago, as if it just happened now. So this is one of the reasons that you won't see a lot of this on my channel, you know, because I really don't, I really prefer not to talk about stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand how maybe important it is for you guys to actually hear something like this, because you can connect to this type of stuff. And because I'm letting you know that you can actually do this stuff, you can heal yourself naturally. You know, I guess this is the type of stuff that you guys actually need to hear. So here it is, you know. But oh my gosh, wait a minute. Okay, so before I wrap this up, here's what needs to be said, right? So you should be able to do as I did, but most won't be able to do it. And so why do I say that, right? Okay, because it's not a quick fix. You actually have to nurture yourself. And it's not just simply eating specific foods. It's a holistic approach that you have to take. So this takes patience, understanding, education, determination, focus, and a lot of research. So it's not going to be this quick fix, let me go and get it ripped out. It's not going to be, let me just take this one thing that I saw on the internet and it's going to make it fall out. It's not going to be something quick. It's a process. It's an actual journey that you're going to have to take. So being that the fibroids that were in me had these calcium deposits, and I know what calcium is and how it builds up. This is where the ACV, the apple cider vinegar, and the baking soda came into play as a result of one of my niece's school projects surrounding pineapple juice and jello, right? So I was helping her. She came home, and I was helping her with this science project. And so I asked her, I said, well, why is your teacher have you guys doing pineapple juice and jello? Because I thought that was kind of weird and it kind of sounded familiar. And she was like, I don't know. She just wants us to watch the reaction. You have to stand in the refrigerator. I'm like, okay. So because it seemed so weird, and the papers that they had, well, that she had, it wasn't elaborating on why they were looking into this pineapple juice and jello. So I said, okay, well, let me just look into this a little bit more. So I did. So the pineapple juice, it had to do with the bromelain that's inside. That's an enzyme that's inside of pineapples. So you know that bromelain, that enzyme, it breaks stuff down, right? So you can put it on meat, and it'll soften meat. Often people take it to like burn fat because it softens meat, it dissolves and it eats it. And I recall seeing this video where Dr. Sebi had mentioned, this was recent, this wasn't back then though, where Dr. Sebi was saying something about not eating pineapples because it eats your back, right? So taking it for fat burning, it eats your back. So basically the bromelain was, that enzyme was there to eat on the fibrin. And so the fibrin would be the jello or the gelatin, right? So I was like, okay, so they want to try to see how the bromelain that's inside of the pineapple juice is going to eat on this fibrin from this gelatin. So I'm looking into it, and so what came to me was cancer. They're trying to use the kids to see who can come up with an idea to get some sort of a reaction out of it, to see how it could really break it down, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm looking more and more into it. And so now at first glance, it may seem like these things may have nothing to do with each other. So, but if you look closer, which I was doing, I found some interesting connections, right? So firstly, okay, so I'm gonna just bring in this site here. This is, let's go, and I like to use this site for stuff. This is the National Institute of Health, and this is an old article from 2015, but this isn't the exact article, but this is in regards to gelatin based hydrogels, which is what that gelatin is, right? So let's see, let me look for something there. So let's see. Okay, so let's consider plasma, right? So plasma is the liquid compound. It's a liquid component of blood that carries various substances through our body. Now, if we shift our focus to cancer, so that would be, we know that that's a complex disease. Interestingly enough, plasma plays a crucial role in cancer diagnosis and treatment. So gelatin plays a crucial role in the development of certain diagnostic tests. Plasma-based tests are commonly, this is what it says, are commonly used to detect certain types of cancer markers. So that was the connection. So I was like, okay, so they're looking to use this bromelain and this fibrin and the children to come up with something. So from there, I started doing my own little research, playing around with some stuff, right? And because of the calcium deposits that was inside of it, the bromelain not strong enough, right? Bromelain not strong enough. So I had to become like a scientist, right? So in our homes, it's like, okay, so we get these calcium deposits, these calcium lime buildup deposits that be inside of our sinks, right? So what do we use to clean that out with? Vinegar and baking soda. Vinegar and baking soda, right? What that vinegar and baking soda does like, it has like this, well, initially it's going to have this, it's going to create a carbonic reaction. And this carbonic reaction It's like when you shake up, it's that fizz, like when you shake up some pop and you take the top off and it goes that. All right, so it does that. So it's creating this air, right? But what it also does, it strips down the calcium that's inside of the pipes, cleaning it off. So thus goes the apple cider vinegar and the baking soda. I wasn't gonna use just regular white vinegar, because I was like, well, there's no real benefit in taking that. That's just acid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just putting acid inside of me. Although the baking soda would do the buffering, I was like, nah, that's just acid. That's not doing anything. But the apple cider vinegar, that actually had the benefits, the mother inside the vinegar. So I was like, yep. So I did however many tests that I needed to do with that. This stuff took a while, y'all. This stuff really took a while, y'all. But I figured it out with all my tests, and it worked. So it broke down the calcium that was inside of the fibroids. Broke it down enough and created some die-off, and there it was. I'm posting these fibroids that have come out of me. I'm posting on social network. First I was posting it on Facebook, then I started recording it and put it on YouTube. The video is still up on YouTube from back in 2016, 2015, that was because I kept stuff. I kept stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna show this. Because I was really just sending it to my sisters when I was getting. But so look, but listen. Let me just say this: don't hesitate to seek medical advice. Because you're gonna have to educate yourself about whatever available treatments, and then you have to make an informed decision about that's based on what suits your unique situation. But don't get it twisted on this channel, okay? Because my channel will not be telling you about surgeries for you to go and have, or any type of procedures that's going to be available for you to have. So I will only be talking about natural healing, okay? So if you can't deal with that, then there are many other channels where you can trauma bond with females sitting in front of their cameras, crying over their uterus being removed and how their fibroids came back because they refused to connect. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna hurry up and get me a new thingamabob, because I'm hoping that this is even catching me. But yeah, people people are crying about how their fibroids have come back, and it's basically because they refuse to connect to their natural minds and practice patience and self-care and self-love, because it's not a quick fix. It's not a quick fix, and everybody is looking for a quick fix where they can pop a pill, they can go and do this. It's not a quick fix, okay? This took me a while. It may not take you as long as it took me, because I had to do all the research and I put it all together so that I can understand what it was that I was putting down, right? So food is more than what you eat, so you're gonna need a lot of education. All right? So look, now my process was very lengthy, and I started in 2011 and healed myself by 2014, 2015. Okay. I had to put all this information together that I was researching and make sure that I could understand it so that I could heal myself, right? So yeah. So look, you're going to need to surround yourself with a support team, with a support system, right? You need to have loved ones who understand and provide emotional support, because that's really invaluable throughout a process like this, all right? Make sure it's not going to be somebody that's going to be trying to throw you off, you know, and get you to take a different step and try to make you step away from doing your process. Okay, you need somebody that's going to help you stick to it, but not somebody that's going to be stressing you out. All right. So look, you guys, they were calcified. They had calcified deposits, and I moved really quickly to get this taken care of. To, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I knew about it, I moved right into it. And I gotta say this too. Food is more than what you eat, which means it's everything that we take into our bodies, right? So again, you're gonna need to really educate yourself. Really educate yourself. And don't think, because a lot of people think this, they think that when it comes to healing, it's just going to be the food that we're going to be putting inside of us. And that's not it. The food is there to get your energy back, or to keep you with energy, right? That's what this food is doing. The food keeps energy inside of us, but it does nothing for your mind. Because if your mind ain't right, it doesn't matter what type of food you're putting inside of you, because you'll just slip right back into your old patterns, right? So this is where being mindful comes into play. And like I said, food is more than what you eat. All right. So you're going to have to be mindful. You have to actually practice nurturing yourself. Okay. And so this is also why I say a lot of you aren't going to be able to do it, because you don't even know what nurturing yourself is. Okay. So you got to actually learn what nurturing yourself is. Okay. It's not going to be anything that's a quick fix. It's not a quick fix. You know what I'm saying? This world that we live in right now, everybody wants the fast food. Everything is so fast paced. I want it now. Natural healing doesn't work that way. Now, will your healing be a long span like what I had? Probably not. Not if you do it in the way that I have laid out. No, that it shouldn't. But will everybody be able to do it? No, I don't think so, because you need to have a very strong mind in order to do this. You have to have a very strong mind. A lot of you will more than likely turn into Lot's wife. How Lot's wife turned back around. She was told not to turn back around, don't go back, and she did anyway. And what happened? She turned into what? Yep, there you go. All right, so look, there you have it. So that's a part of my compelling journey. Okay, that's a part of my compelling journey. And remember, knowledge is power. And we must continue to shed light on these lesser known aspects of women's health, right? So look, until I don't typically do videos. I only do come on and do videos when I actually have something to say. I don't just sit in front of a camera and be like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this today. I'm gonna talk about this today, because this isn't a soap opera. Excuse me. This isn't a soap opera. And this isn't TV. This is real life. You know what I'm saying? And I only come on when I have something helpful and beneficial to share with you guys. So, and I figured that this was going to be one of those. So, look, stay curious, stay informed, and always embrace a part of your inner self. All right? So, I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I will see about, I'll see about doing some other informative videos for you guys. All right. So until then,